Right, here we go. Challenge 2. Gotta pull out the freaking gallon jug water bottle. Heavy, but, it's the workout we get here on the show. But hey, welcome back to another video of the advent of cyber. Here we are running it back. I think in the last video we were playing as McSkitty, the chief security officer here at Santa Claus Enterprises, and our system was hacked. It was traumatic. I mean, we saw our computer friend die in front of us. It's only been a day and I'm still kind of traumatized from the whole matter, but anyways, we had to move on. We were, I think in the challenge 1, we were using like a little IDOR vulnerability, which is when we're just given too much access to begin with. I think it's an insecure direct object reference. So that was fun. It was simple. We're gonna get onto challenge 2 and see what that has in store for us today. So let's open up a Chrome window. All right. So the story is not going to be as elaborate today. We are playing as McSkitty again. Let's go. And we need to check if any other employees have been affected by the Grinch's attack. Oof, it was so traumatic. Okay, but the system that holds employee information has already been hacked. What? Can we hack them back to determine if other team members have been affected? Okay, so that's going to be our challenge today. And it looks like we're going to be using some HTTPS understanding web servers and stuff. So this is the website that we have been given. I am using the virtual machine. Oh my goodness, there's some choppiness. Hopefully it's not this choppy the whole time. But yes, we are using the virtual attack box that TryHack has. I mean, I don't think this challenge is going to be too sophisticated, so we'll probably be able to get away by using a virtual box to do it. And so that is all we have. We have a login page, and that's it. Let's see if we have any hints to what we're going to have to do on this attack. We're talking about HTTP, we're talking about web servers, and as we can see here, we got all the good stuff. I mean, we got HTTP, an example of a request, a GET request here, an example of a response that we get from the server. The communication between client and server is key when it comes to HTTP. I mean, that's what we're doing all the time, 24/7 in the modern day. And it looks like we're gonna be talking about some cookies too, which is great. I think I've pulled this up before, but we'll pull it up again. When we're talking about the internet, I always love to pull up the, I think, OSI model is what this is called, which is pretty much how the packet that you send over the internet actually gets to the other computer and interpreted by that computer and then sent back to you. Because it's always fascinating that you can just send these letters and they somehow get sent over a radio wave, over an electrical signal to another computer. It's just fascinating. But you essentially have the command that you want to do, any data that you want, and it comes down here, it gets put into the application layer. That application layer is going to get packaged into the transport layer, which is kind of identifying the protocol, the port that is on your computer. So usually when we're communicating, it's going to be on port 80 or on port 443. So this is going to handle the port. The network is going to handle the pathing to said, where this youtube.com server is. This network layer is going to find that IP address and route it there. This data link layer is going to handle the MAC addresses that are associated with it. So IP addresses are great, but MAC addresses are really the magic of it all when it comes to getting to the right person. And the physical layer is going to be the actual bits, the ones and zeros that get sent via electrical signal or sent via radio wave. How that's going to happen, who knows? And then the receiving computer gets this whole entire physical layer, and they unpackage it layer by layer by layer until they get, bam, the original command that was sent. And then he gets it, and the whole thing happens again. And it's amazing because it looks like a lot, but it all happens in under, a couple milliseconds. So we have some genius humans that came before us to make this all happen, which is great. And that was definitely high level, but I think that's going to do for challenge 2. Just a little context to what we're doing. And we're also talking about, you know, some HTTP, which is great. They have these examples here. I always love to show an actual example of what this is going to look like. So we were talking about, you know, the packaging that was in this previous PowerPoint, and we can do it side by side here, possibly, maybe, and won't break your eyes. Here, let's zoom in, and we can see the application, transport, network layer, and data, and all this. If we bring up this package here, you can actually see, if we click on the HTTP packet, you'll see that we have our hypertext transfer protocol, which is going to be that application layer. It goes into the transmission, which is, as you can see here, the port. We have our port. We go into the network layer, which is going to be, you know, the internet here. Internet, and this is your IP address, where it's going, who it's coming from, the, you know, MAC address here that we're going for, and it kind of gives you a hint of maybe the device. I'm gonna act like, yeah, I think if you actually map this out, you can get like a reference to what the device is, if it's an iPhone, if it's a, you know, PC, which is fun, which is cool. But anyways, in the last layer, we're gonna have the actual bits. Good luck reading that. I know I can't read that. But it's something cool. So, but like I said, that's the context. When we actually look at these HTTP layers, you can see that there's a bunch of stuff going on. And I kind of wanted to just show, because they give it at a high level, which is great. We'll go back to that. This is what it actually looks like. They're not making things up on the webpage, on the website. This is exactly how your internet traffic is going to look. We have the command, the host, the user agent, which is the browser I'm using, and a bunch of other data. There's keep alive packet, and I think at the end you can, when we get the response, we'll see all that great data. So that is a little bit of context going in. But yeah, that was HTTP, and now we're going to jump into cookies, it seems. So when we're talking about cookies, we're talking about having a meaningful session with the server. So I mean, we can request information all day from servers, but if we want to, you know, feel like we're unique, we want to have a unique experience with the website. Maybe, you know, when you're on Amazon.com and you want to like have your own shopping cart, or maybe you want, you know, personalized ads targeting to you because of all the things that you go and visit. That is what the cookies are for. They're so yummy, guys. Come on. They're harmless, okay? Yeah. But so yeah, what really happens is we store a tiny piece of information. They call it metadata, which it can be, and it's going to be stored locally in our browser. And then every single time we make, you know, a request to the web page, it sends that little cookie, that little piece of metadata with it, and we get a unique kind of response back. It's personalized for us because we have that little piece of information we send back with it. So super cool. Authentication or session cookies is what we're talking about here. I imagine there could be other types of cookies. I'm unfamiliar, but yeah, cool stuff. So this is a little diagram they have of that initial interaction. It seems like we have a post request to log in. We log in and we get a cookie set to the currently logged in user. So that way when we continue to make our request or whatnot, we get, you know, a personalized response back. So very cool stuff. Web Dev 101, guys, and I think we're gonna break apart the cookie component here, and this is cool. I mean, we have a name, a value, a domain, a lot of awesome information here. But I think it even says down here the only two things we really care about: the name and the value. So what the cookie is, and what it stores. This is super cool. So a little key value pair. And awesome. And we're going to be talking about cookie manipulation. So I guess that is what this is all about when it comes to hacking this page. Looks like we're going to be using some of that cookie manipulation to get past. And it even shows us how to view our cookies, which is great. I think we can just use the developer tools because, I mean, it is stored in our... So here we are, we're chilling. And I think if we want to view... We would want to open up the dev tools here and look at the application to see the cookie values. So all we did here was open up the developer console, went over to application, and on the application page we can see the cookies. It doesn't seem like there are any currently, but that's okay. I don't think we've done anything. We're just looking at the page. But I imagine if we came down here and we tried to log in, so I think we'll just jump into the challenge. All right, enough talking. Let's start doing. Okay, so we went to the site. Let's hit that complete. Look at that, streak has increased. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're gonna register for an account, verify the cookie. So let's do that. We'll sign up. We'll do hello world. Well, no, we'll do StarCoding, dude. StarCoding, and the password is so secret you wouldn't believe it. Y'all ever like go into like a public setting and just it asks for like your email address before you can like log into the Wi-Fi, and you just give them the most random shenanigans ever? What? That's crazy. User auth. Okay, so I imagine that this is what we're supposed to see. I highly doubt that the server just crashed. So we'll say that the user auth is gonna have, and this is gonna be the cookie, and that's gonna be the value. Okay. So let's just give it a little sent here. Is that gonna be it? Yes. So the name of the new cookie that was created was user auth. What encoding type was used for the cookie value? So we have an encoded string here of what our value is. Okay, and I'm gonna be real. It's been a long time since I've looked at some encoded values. You know, you got your base 64, and you know there's so we had our cookie here, our user auth cookie, and it has a value. This value is some big string of something, which usually means it's encoded data or hashed data, for if that makes sense. But since these numbers make sense, I mean they are all ASCII, that gives us a better chance. So we know that the value of these bytes is between 0 and 255, which, I mean, kind of gives a hint that it could be hex. I was trying base 64 and didn't really get anything, and I also tried UF8 in the background and got nothing. And so then I was like, well, I wonder if I just like look at the network real quick, if I'll see something. So I saw there was a function called string to hex, and I was like, okay, well, that's probably what this is. They probably just took the string of whatever the value was and then encoded it as hex, as the bytes, which is cool. So again, we have this big string, and there's two ways we could do this. I mean, we could open up a browser or a terminal and open up some Python, and you know, we could directly do the hex string is equal to this guy, and I think it's like the hex. It's like bytes from hex. I might have to import bytes from hex. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, we can work this out, or ladies and gentlemen, we can go to a handy dandy website like convertstring.com with ads everywhere, because you know what, we're paying them for their service with a tiny bit of ad revenue. We paste the string here, and what do we get? We decode it, and we get Bang, company, the best festival company is registered true, username StarCoding. So that is the data that is stored in that cookie, the user auth cookie. Okay, and so if we go back to our resources, we can do what encoding type was used. It was hexadecimal, I believe. Am I dumb at spelling? I am dumb at spelling. There we go. Whoop whoop is what we say to that. And what object format is the data stored in? So if we look at this data, it's somewhere. We'll see that we have a parenthesis and a key map pairing. This is your classic JSON. Very nice. It's human legible, which is great, and it's also machine legible. I mean, what more can you get? It's not as human legible, but you know, I can understand it, and a computer can find it and understand it quickly too. So it's a very useful language for packaging information. So this is going to be JSON. If we go back to our code here, great. And what is the administrator cookie? If the username is equal to admin. So, okay, what is the value of this? So let's go back to our handy dandy coder here. We're just going to change this to admin. I copy this guy. We'll go back to the encoder. So we want to encode this. This will be the value. That was a big answer. All right. What team environment is not responding? Okay, do we want to reset our cookie? Is that what we want to do now? Do we want to now log in? Let's see if we click this hint button. Indicate by red status symbol. Okay, I think we want to manipulate and get into this website now. I refresh this page. Will we get it to work? So let's go to that, and we'll set this to this. Okay. TMC Labs. Nice. Okay, well, that was uneventful and anticlimactic. So I think what has happened after carefully examining the data, so as you can see, when we originally went to, you know, make something over here and create an account, you'll see that the value of said hex is lowercase. And when I was doing it on this website, this website, it capitalized it. So my theory is it wasn't working because they were capital instead of lowercase. So here we are using a different website, ladies and gentlemen. This is your hacking skills 101 here. Just do it until it works. Okay, we'll use this guy. We'll see if it works. One of them is bound to work. So we'll come in and edit it. And by the way, this does edit it. So if I changed it to ones, it does actually edit the value. So we'll do this. And we'll come over here and change the page. And bam! It does work now. So capitalization matters. It didn't matter when we submitted it here, but it does matter, I guess, when it actually comes to hex. And it makes sense. Like a capital letter has a different hex value than a lowercase letter, so I could understand that completely. Sorry, so we got multiple ones open. So I think what we're looking for is going to be the team environment that's not responding. And I think when we look ahead, it said that it's the red status symbol. So that's going to be the HR team. So your classic HR not being able to respond. What team has a network warning? I guess that will be the application. Application. It's yellow. It's yellow. Do we get a status? No. Let's see. Beautiful. And if we want to learn more about authentication bypassing, we can check out one of their rooms. And all right, we are going to get on to day 3 tomorrow. So, all right, so there you have it. The second challenge was done. I guess the hardest part about that was figuring out what the encoding was on the cookie value that we got back. And you know, any situation you get a crazy value, you're like, okay, what is up with that? Is it hashed? Is it encoded? Obviously we had the hint that it was encoded, and when it came to actually finding it, it was like, I guess, trial of elimination at first, like, okay, base 64, UTF, and I wasn't even thinking hex in my mind, honestly, until I looked at the, you know, actual JavaScript functions that were called and saw convert to hex, and I was like, okay, well, we could see if this is a hex encoding, and it was. So that's cool. And we found it. They gave us some more hints on, you know, oh, the user's name is admin, so we changed the user to admin, recode it, and you can see the power of cookie manipulation, because all we did was change who the server thought we were, and it let us bypass. It didn't even, you know, have us type in the admin's password. It just thought that we were logged in as the admin, so it displayed us the admin screen. And that is session bypassing for you. So thank you. This was a fun challenge too, and let's look forward to the next challenge tomorrow. See y'all. Take care.